Welcome back. So today we are starting chapter 4 of Big Nate Lives It Up. Here we go. Chapter 4. Wait, what just happened? Did Brick and Rich just call me his best friend? You saved me from that Randy kid. Now that's a pal. Great, see what I get for trying to do the right thing? No, Captain Clingy here thinks we're soulmates. Well, I don't need a best friend. I've already got two of them. So how am I supposed to deal with this? Beat it, shove. They're tempting, but I can't just kick Brick and Rich to the curb like that. It would be me. It would be me. Plus, Principal Nicholas would freak. There must be some way to wiggle out of this without being too wiggly. If you get my drift, come on, brain, think. Hey, pal, will you go sharpen this for me, buddy? For me? Sure, buddy. I watched Brick and Ridge rattle out of earshot. Then huddle up with Francis and Teddy. Did you hear that? I whisper. I can't hear anything right now, Teddy says. Can you talk a little louder? Be serious for a second, you pinhead, I hiss. Breckenridge just told me I'm his best friend. Francis raises an eyebrow. Well, duh, you are. He doesn't know anyone else. Yeah, but he doesn't really know Nate either. Teddy points out, like Dee Dee said. They're only met a couple hours ago. Well, what if I've known him longer than a couple hours? Huh? I tell them about my nagging feeling that I've met Breckenridge before. Francis frowns. That's odd. So is Breckenridge, Teddy cackles. Yeah, I muttered, and I'm stuck with him. So unstick yourself. Find him some new friends. Hey, yeah, I exclaimed. I'll drag him around the cafeteria during lunch. That's a nice way to put it. I'm sure I can find someone to take him off my hands. What about your hands? Clay, I was just saying that. It's hard to watch clay off your hands. Oh, that's why I'm glad We're drawing today. Me too, he says. I like to draw. Really? Wow, stop the presses. Everybody, Brick and Rich Puffin to the third, and I might actually have something in common. He picks up a pencil, leans over a sheet of paper. La da da dee, dee diddly dee ski diddly, doo dee boo boo, Billy boo bow doo, and starts singing. What a dorkmeester. This kid's weird. Then a two-headed penny. But wait, there's more. Look at what he's drawing. You know if this is free art time. I tell him, Mr. Rosa lets us draw whenever we want. I know, he answers. I like flowers. Okay, whatever. I've got nothing against flowers. I just don't like drawing them. Beware, you are entering the drawing dead zone. Stuff I hate to draw and why. Realistic looking hands. Way too hard. Why? Way too hard. Crow's hair. Why? It takes all day. Flowers. Why? They're flowers. Trolls and frogs. Why? I don't do cutesy. Figure skaters. Why? Do you really have to ask? Caristers. That's what I say. I don't know. You made my nose too big, you little punk. Why? Hazardous to my health. Breckenridge is still talking. Not only flowers, of course. Not only flowers, of course. I like all flora. Flora. That's my name of Chad's hamster. Trees, brushes, ferns, algae. Yes, I said. I don't know. Those are my passions. I'm going to be a botanist. That's interesting, and when I say interesting, I mean so boring I want to set myself on fire. He spends the next hour telling me about his favorite mooses. Finally the bell rings. That was the worst art class since paint a potato day. Time for lunch, alright, pal? Right. You said it. Okay, it's time to put my plan into action. Lunch is the only time this whole school is together and run room. So if I'm going to find some pals for Breckenridge, this is the place to do it. I scanned the cafeteria. There are some decent possibilities here. Let's take a look at a few of the candidates. Nick Blonsky, pros. He's a total jerk and a huge liar, and has hardly any friends. In other words, Breckenridge won't have much competition. Cons. See above. Roderick Mathis. Pros. He's really popular and he's good at everything. Cons. He's probably not thinking, if I had a friend who was an inspiring botanist. Chester Budrick. Pros. He's the size of a Greyhound bus, so he could protect Breckenridge from kids like Randy. Cons. He's a potentially violent sociopath. I glance over at Breckenridge, and it occurs to me that this might be tougher than I thought. What kind of sucker will agree to hang out with this kid? And then suddenly it hits me. Otter. Hello, Nate. Otter says in his lovable but kind of annoying accent. Why don't I think of this before? Otter likes everybody and almost everybody likes him. All I have to do is introduce him to Breckenridge and get out of the way. Arthur, this is Breckenridge. Can he eat lunch with you? Great, thanks. Gotta go, but wait. He knocks down the principal. Sorry, guys, I know I might look terrible or pale. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, here's the bad news. I just did a faceplant and Coach John's back fat. But the good news is, what are you doing? Just kidding, there is no good news. I swallow hard. I was about to get in the lunch line. Really, Coach? John exclaims, his fake friendly voice echoing around the cafetorium like a cannon blast. You were in such a hurry. I assume you were exercising. My stomach sinks. Here it comes. If it's exercise you want, I'll make sure you get plenty of it during gym, he thunders. Now sit down! Yes, sir, I mumble, and scurry over to the nearest open table. Phew, that could have been way worse. I've seen Coach John bring down the hammer on kids for a lot less. I don't like your T-shirt, so drop it. Give me 20. Anyway, things are looking up. Coach Crazy didn't wag out on me. Now that's now a Topi joke, and I managed to ditch Breckenridge. Hi, buddy. Gosh. Hi, buddy. I thought you were sitting with Arthur, I say, trying not to sound completely disgusted that my escape from Joe's sidekick lasted about 25 seconds. He nods. I was, he tells me, but then someone else came along. Jenny. Oh, I should have had seen that coming. Jenny, who was practically almost to be my girlfriend before Arthur moved here, is awesome. It's her taste in guys that's a little nuts. They seem like a happy couple. Oh yeah, they're ecstatic. Grown. Talking about Jenny and Arthur is like wearing burlap underwear. It won't kill me, but it's not very comfortable. Time to change the subject. Breckenridge wants to ask you something. Have you lived here before? He nods. My grandmother's from here, and I lived with her for a few months when I was really little. Aha, I exclaimed, pounding the table. I bet we knew each other back then. He shakes his head. I don't think so. I don't remember you. What? That's impossible. How could anybody not remember me? I'm the most memorable person I know. Want to share my lunch? Breckenridge offers. I've got plenty. Egg salad. Gross me out. That's the second most sickening thing I've seen today. The first, obviously, was Otter and Jenny's imitation of conjoined twins. No thanks, I muttered as I get up from the table. I need to get going. I'll come with you. No, I mean, I have an appointment. Yeah, that's it. I scoot out into the hallway before he could say another word. Freedom, after half a day of Breckenridge trailing me like some westified bloodhound. It's nice to go solo again. Sometimes a man just needs to be alone. Ah, Nate, I'm glad to run into you. Uh-oh, don't tell me my overdue book fees have finally hit triple figures. There's a young lady I'd like you to meet, Nate, Mrs. Hickson said as well. She's just your kind of girl. Woo-hoo! Chapter 5. I've been making some photocopies of Edna Birkendale's journal, Hickey says, handing me a bundle of papers, the one I told you about this morning at BBC. Wow, was that only this morning? It feels like a month ago. Time doesn't exactly fly on planet Breckenridge. The other kids won't see that till our next meeting. But a little bird told me you might enjoy a little sneak peek. So apparently Mrs. Hickson talks to birds, librarians. Birds. librarians are so, what's the word? Eccentric. Eccentric, which means there are a few pages short of a chapter, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, there are some comfy chairs with a computer lab. Let's see what's so great about this Edna. What's her face? Club, September 7th. September 7th. Today was ever so exciting. Public school number 38 had opened at least and what a grand scene it was when Mayor as it opened at last, and what a grand scene it was when Mayor Steffens and her new principal, Mrs. Prentice, cut the lovely red ribbon that stretched across the front door. We children couldn't believe our eyes when we walked inside our dear new school, resembles a royal place, and each classroom is enormous, nearly as large as. So this is supposed to be my kind of girl? Sorry, I'm not feeling it. First, she's a complete meat freak. I mean, look at that handwriting. Oh wait, such a neat freak. I mean, look at that handwriting. And second, she's dull as a soup spoon. Page 1 of her journal is such a total yeah. And then I turned to page 2 into our classroom, and there to meet us was our new teacher, Mrs. Orbach. Boys and girls, take your seats. Take them where? Uh-oh, hee-haw. You rascal, you. Oh, Baba, here is your seat. Wow, holy cow, I can't believe this. Edna Burkdale was a cartoonist? Okay, so if this isn't the most hilarious comic strip I've ever read, but considering that it's 100 years old, I'm willing to cut Edna a little slack in the chuckles department. Plus, I like the way she draws. She's almost as good as I am. I keep going. Hickey only gave me a few pages, but there's a lot to look at. Here's a drawing of Edna's two best friends. By the way, can we figure whoever was in charge of thinking up names back then? Gertrude. Gertrude is terribly clever. Girls are just as smart as boys. Smarter, I'd say. Tee hee. And Mildred is cleverly terrible. Kick me. How much is here? And here's another classmate she's not so crazy about. Remind you of anyone, Gina? Mary fancies herself the teacher's favorite. Please, sir, give us extra lessons. And here's a pie I baked for you with my own hands. Oh, you darling child. There's even a drawing of PS38's very first bully. I wonder if this kid's last name was Betancourt. George is the most unpleasant brute. Oh ho, have a nice trip. Oh, Hickey was right. This rocks. I'm usually not a fan of back in the good old days stuff, which is the reason number 8,000 why I hate social studies. But this is different. This is comics. If Edna Birkendale was around today, she'd definitely be a doodler. The Doodlers is the unofficial name of PS38 Cartooning Club, the best club in the galaxy, and we could use someone like Edna. It's been a while since we added any new kids. Any speaking of new kids, oh, here you are. I stumble groan. What wave goodbye to my me time. It was nice while it lasted. Breckenridge peers at me suspiciously. You said you were going to an appointment. I mean I was. I had a meeting with the librarian. Hey, that's mostly true. Technically, I did meet Hickey in the library in the hallway. Breckenridge doesn't have to know it happened by accident. Now he's eyeing the paper in my hand. What's that? He asked. This is just some homework, I answered, jamming the pages into my pocket. Hey, we better get moving. We've got Jim. I know what you're wondering. Why not tell Breckenridge about Endless Journal? Because then he'll want to join the BBC, that's why. And on page 85 of Foliage and Flowering Plants of North America, there's a fantastic paragraph on ornamental grasses. Make him stop. Then he'd start joining all the clubs and activities I'm in. Doodlers, nice roller, says a dog. Yearbook, lick. Scouts, now you sing one. Which means I'll never get rid of him. You and Breckenridge have become so close I invited him to live with us. No! Maybe I'm overreacting, but can you blame me? All I did was agree to be this kid's buddy, and it's turning into a life sentence. Attention, please, attention. All teachers and students, please leave the building immediately. Proceed in an ordinary fashion to the nearest exit. Breckenridge grabs my arm. What's going on? He whimpers. How should I know? I grunt. That sounded kind of harsh, I guess, but in case you hadn't noticed, really wiggling here is getting on my nerves. Well, have you all got wax in your ears, Coach John Barrows? Move out. Must be a fire drill, Teddy says as we file down the hallway. But the alarm didn't go off, Francis points out. It's going to be something else. He's right. As usual, once we get outside, Principal Nicholas makes an announcement. There's no cause for concern. There's a major gas leak in the building. We already knew that, Teddy whispers. Her name is Mrs. Godfrey. Remember the day she had baked beans for lunch? A repair crew is fixing the problem, and you should be ready. You should be able to return to your classes in about an hour. Rats, I was hoping for. See you tomorrow. In the meantime, Principal Nicholas continues. Enjoy your surprise recess. Everyone chatters. The teachers all sit down in the shade to talk about whatever teachers talk about when they're not on duty. Would anyone like to see pictures of my vacation to the museum on nose hair? Anyone? Hello? Yelling at the students just makes me feel so alive. Yes, go on. And after I'd failed at everything else I thought was not try teaching. Hey, me too. I'll never become a famous artist. Stop whining about it and do some sit-ups. Bye, Grandma. Bye. Okay. Well, the kids split up into their regular recess groups. Lovebirds, you're my cuddle muffin, and you are my mussy pancake. Gossip girls, hey, her new haircut is so awful. What was that? What was she thinking? Get a lifers. I've seen Star Wars 396 times. Ooh. Show offs. 1005, 1006. Slackers, whatever. Gina, I'm going over to the teacher's area. I guess going to a broken down school has its advantages. Francis whoops 100-year-old gas pipe cracks, and we get a free period. Mm, hear that? Hey, Roderick got a football over there. Teddy says, "Let's get a game going." Yeah, we'll pick teams, and football's too violent. Her brother, maybe if Breckenridge wasn't a wet blanket, we'd find something to do. What included him, but he has not even trying to fit in. Come on, kid, we've got with the get with the program. We could play touch instead of tackle. Francis offers helpfully. I don't like sports, Breckenridge sniffs. All that running around, what's the point? To have fun. That's what we'll be doing if you want to join us. I feel a little bad for ditching Breckenridge, but what am I supposed to do? Hold his hand? We want to play football and he doesn't. End of story. Roderick. Us three versus you three. You're on. Call it tails, heads. You guys are kicking off. As we line up to start the game, to I spot Jenny and Arthur looking up from the sideline. Nice of them to come up for air. Hey guys, I shout. And when I say hey guys, I really mean hey Jenny. Watch this. I returned this kick for a touchdown, and that ought to make an impression. Crunch. Ow! Impression is right. Roderick drills me so hard my socks hurt. By the time I could breathe again, the other team scooped up my fumble and scored. Now I'm hoping Jenny's not watching. Francis leans over me. You okay, Nate? Oh, sure, I mumble, wobbling to my feet. What's a few broken ribs between friends? Can you keep playing? Teddy asked. I nod. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll play. Oh, no, you won't. That is it for chapters 4 and 5. Bye, guys.